What's up, Aquarius? Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. Happy November. Hope all you aqua babies are doing well. We are here to do your November monthly tarot reading. Wishing you all a very happy Scorpio season and Sagittarius season. Hope everybody had a happy Halloween and headed into Thanksgiving season, so that's exciting. I say it like it's a season, like it's an ongoing thing, but that actually sounds like a great idea. Potlucks every day. All right, guys, we are doing November tarots for you. Do keep in mind these are general messages, guys. Not everything I say will resonate with all the Aquarians out there. So as always, come into this with an open heart and an open mind. But ultimately, I only want you to take away the messages that resonate with you, that you feel are meant for you, that help guide you along your path in your journey here. That being said, messages will sometimes resonate later down the line, in a few days, in a few weeks, in a few months. So don't limit yourself to a very specific timeline of November, right? If something resonates later down the line, take it and run with it. That means it was your message. Everything else you want to know about this video will be written in that description box below. That includes the decks I'm using here today, as well as my social media channels. I'm the Intuitive Teacup on Facebook and Instagram. Give me a like, share, subscribe where you can. That always helps me to get this channel to grow, particularly on YouTube. So yeah, any gesture you can make in that arena is much appreciated. Let's hop in for you guys, all right? Going into November, roughly, your energy is strength, all right? I like that. Frequently a card of Leo. It does talk about internal strength, internal balance. And I'm also getting with this something about some sort of like breakthrough or clarity, like the light with the yellow, it's like the illumination, like something finally clicks. And it may have to do with like some sort of internal struggle that you've been kind of faced with this challenge or obstacle for a while now. It's like the sun breaks through like the dark clouds is sort of what I'm getting there. It might be in a relationship with a Leo, or you may have strong Leo, particularly if it's your moon sign, Aquarius. So let's see. Page of Cups is the underlying energy. All right, let's see. How to repair a relationship, or how to proceed in a way that brings harmony and balance and peace, potentially in a group dynamic. For some of you, it's making peace with the idea that someone who you did love or have emotions for, I think there was like a dawning of a new day, or again, some sort of realization, illumination on the fact that the attraction was, I don't want to say like purely sexual, but that was what was motivating or driving this emotional connection. But I'm just wondering, and again, with what the cards are saying, if it's not your story, you don't need to take this on, but it's almost indicating that there wasn't much substance to it other than like a physical attraction. So some of you might be headed into that in November. You may have some sort of like scenario where you, I don't know, hook up with someone, or even if it's like, I'm trying to put it in different categories. Like if it has to do with like job opportunities, again, if we look at it like a sexual attraction, there's something very enticing and alluring about this sort of job or opportunity. But again, it's lacking in substance. It may lack in the pay or the finances that are due to you or that you deserve. Interestingly enough, this Page of Cups is spilled. So that indicates to me that, yeah, it's sort of messy in the emotional realm. It's not like, or something about like a missed opportunity. Let's throw a clarifier on it. Actually, I'm going to do an oracle card here. What is this spilled cup about for Aquarius? Can we clarify this? Page of Cups can sometimes be have to do with our children. So you may be like in a relationship, if you have a child, where you don't see them as like a fit parent to your child, if that makes sense. If you're like a single mom or a single dad, it could be like, again, the person you're dating, it's like the sexual attraction is there, but you're almost like not wanting, it's like you're compartmentalizing your life. Like they're this, but they're never going to be like involved with me and my child, if that makes sense. Interesting. Could be a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. What is this Page of Cups about? I am getting something about not wanting to commit, or almost, which is very interesting, but like almost like player energy. Again, maybe with a Leo, or, you know, you can swap the roles, right? Maybe that's you, Aquarius. You're attracted to somebody, but you're wanting to it's like you're not there to stay. You're not there to build roots, to like set like a solid foundation. Again, I am sort of taking this as like not wanting to invite that person into your home. There's like a very distinct line of what you're willing to cross, and business and pleasure. And again, with that like romantic partnership and familial relationships, there's a divide there. And I don't know if it has to do with trust issues or just simply, as I said, lack of substance. It's like, this is fun and I can enjoy it, but it's not, I'm just getting, it's not someone you would build your kingdom with. Interesting. So that's sort of the energy you're in, interestingly enough. Let's move on and see what else we got. So this is going to be your challenge or focus this month. All right, there's that Eight of Swords. A mental prison, our thoughts keeping us trapped, our thoughts not allowing us to move on or take action, a decision that we're avoiding. Frequently, it's a card that talks about fears that are keeping us stuck. It's sometimes like I can't do this because I don't have enough money. I can't do this because that person doesn't like me. But it's false beliefs. The swords are pointed down. So it's like the truth isn't a higher vibration. It's like, yeah, it's keeping you stuck. It looks uncomfortable, right? Sorry, Aquarius, I just paused you there because I was coughing so bad. So yeah, so with this, it is self-restriction. It's realizing that if you were to take the blindfold off, what's keeping you trapped is yourself. It's your thoughts. So what's really empowering about this card is when you do take off the blindfold, right? It's realizing that you can just step outside these thoughts. They don't need to hold you back anymore. So let's see, the underlying energy for this thought. Okay, it's the Page of Swords. Interesting. So there's some sort of information that you haven't yet discovered or come across that is going to enlighten you in some way and make you recognize that you don't have to stay stuck anymore. And with this Page of Swords, there's great movement here. It's like the information allows you to move forward. The information allows for speed. The information allows for progression. We think the page goes into the Knight of Swords, right? And the Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight in the deck. So it's like you're on your way, but there's been a delay, or there's some fear that needs to be conquered, or some sort of enlightenment that it like opens up your mind to see it from a new perspective, maybe. And I do want to say it has to do with this relationship. This could be facing some sort of addiction issue or some sort of unhealthy behavior. Again, if it's not sexual, like a carnal desire, but it could be, I don't know, it could be like gambling issues or just alcoholism or something like that, where it's gotten you in trouble in the past with forming solid foundations or solid relationships. This could be your person too, right? Vice versa. And maybe because of the loss, the disappointment, the spilled cups, potentially with a person that you want to try it again, but there's fear or there's worry that this could never take off and move forward. Some new truth or conversation that could like set you free and move forward. This is a little bit muddled, Aquarius. I'm getting like so many different messages, and I try and stick with like the main one that presents itself. So bottom of your deck is Ace of Swords and the Emperor. So the card of fatherhood sometimes. Again, choosing the father of your child, whether you're male or female, I suppose, right? A new truth, a new beginning, a conversation, a severing off. Yeah, and you do have the Queen of Swords and the King of Pentacles. So again, another card of fatherhood, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or Aries. And then the Queen of Swords, a Libra card, but I think this is you, Aquarius. A cold, I was going to say cold-hearted. That's not really what I was trying to say, but a hard truth, a decision based on fact and logic, not getting carried away with emotions and like spilled cups, messy emotions, messy relationships. Yeah, stepping into your power and realizing that there's new adventures ahead. For a lot of you, it may have to do with your, like, you know, the term baby daddy, or it could literally be your father, Aquarius, or if you are a father, this may pertain to your child. Something about, I don't know, like kicking out of the house or escaping out of the house, there's some sort of disharmony or disruption in like the house, the home space. It could be with like a Cancer, the mother, Cancerian energy. It could be something someone said to you that was sort of unkind or made you uneasy, a false truth about yourself that you started to believe, and so you questioned if you could proceed forward, or something that was impacting your ability to move forward and is keeping you in your headspace quite conflicted, quite stuck. I think that's why these are coming through, to like break you free of that, to bust you free. All the sword energy, a lot of you guys are like struggling on the mental plane. What is the correct choice? What is the right decision? How do I communicate this? What are the facts here? What is truth? Some of you are waiting for somebody else to profess something to you or communicate something to you that you think is long overdue, but they're being greedy with it. They're being selfish. They're holding it to themselves. They're not coming forward to you in a clear, truthful, even like blunt manner, which is what you want, Aquarius. There's something like this person is enjoying like the cat and mouse of it, the game. They're extremely stubborn with Aries and Taurus energy. And I will say, even if this person isn't, you know, a terrible person, there's something that is kind of selfish about them. Like they always put themselves first. And so maybe some of you are wondering about, is it time to like cut this one out of my life? Is it time to, I don't know, release or let go? Yeah, I just keep getting chaos in the house. I think this is like a marriage that has separated, or a divorce, or a break from one another. Or I mean, I'm not necessarily getting like third party energy, but like if the third potentially being a child that I think you're trying to protect from this person who, again, there's something very majestic or alluring about them, right? They're presenting as the king and the emperor. This person may have a lot of money. This person may have a big, beautiful mansion or house. This person could be your boss. This person has a very dominant energy that it's fascinating, but also intimidating. And so maybe that's why, again, for some of you, that like sexual desire was coming out. Like there's an innate like carnal like sexual desire to it. But it results in this. It's like it barely gets up and off the ground if you are trying to establish some sort of romantic partnership there. It's disappointing. Hold on one second. Why is this house coming up? Clarify this house card. It's the King's house. I don't know what that means to you all, but... And I mean, you are the King of Swords, Aquarius, so that could be symbolic of you, but... What is this? The King's house. Why is this house coming through? The Queen of Pentacles. Oh, yeah. Okay. This person might be married. I just have to say it like it is. You do have a divine pairing coming up. The King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, card of Capricorn and Taurus. They may be somewhere in this mix here. Yeah, and as I was saying, it's like there's a very firm line of mixing business and partnership, of mixing in like your established family, potentially your child or whatever, your parents, whatever, with this other person. Maybe it's a business partnership, but for a lot of you, I think it's romantic. And I just hate to say it, but especially with these cards, earth energy, frequently it's the mother and father, the husband and wife card. And you were presenting as the Queen of Swords, so that's why I'm saying there's like I am sort of getting a third party thing. Not for everyone, again, but yeah, there's a lot of people in this spread. Also the Emperor, which may or may not be this person. Good Lord, Aquarius, what's going on? You do have the Queen of Wands, bottom of your deck here. A lot of people. Definitely a lot of people. So your challenge or focus is breaking free from something, from a false belief that's keeping you stuck. I know that's really vague, but again, like there's so much going on. I'm struggling. Page of Wands wants to explore. Page of Wands focuses on what motivates him or her, what excites them, what inspires them. Frequently a card of travel, career, or artistic endeavors. This is like seeing new lands, seeing new places. And I will say too, like the 1, 2, 3 mountains, conquering some sort of battle, being victorious, right? Cutting out the bullshit in your life, cutting out the people who don't serve you. And what I was getting at with like the 1, 2, 3, the obstacles that you've had to overcome, the 1, 2, 3, maybe there's been 3 people in the mix that are not contributing positively. There's a lot going on here. I just watched The Witch, and this just reminds me of Black Phillip, for anybody who's seen that movie. Interesting. Yeah, maybe you're dealing with a Capricorn. You need to follow your intuition. You have a couple cards with the moon coming up. So if in your gut you know what's holding you back, and you know there's whatever needs to be conquered, it's like you need to step into your truth. You need to like kind of stand up and advocate for yourself, express yourself, communicate, stand up, fight for what you believe in. That's going to set you free. And like your intuition is guiding you down a divinely guided path, if that makes sense. Moon to sun. There is some sort of like secretive energy. Again, with the moon, it's like it's dark, it's shadowy. Not everything has been revealed yet, but it's also your intuition. So if you feel like you're being asked to move forward, you have the sun card twice. It's because universe is trying to put you into illumination. Universe is trying to make you see things with truth, with clarity. They're trying to welcome in new abundance, regrowth, potentially birth, right? Rebirth and happiness, joy. That's really what the sun represents here, right? I mean, I would say it's a baby riding a damn horse in a field of sunflowers. Like, we kind of want this, right? It's a good feeling. You may have to go off and find it on your own, though, Aquarius. You may have to struggle through some... You know what it is? I don't think you're going to get all the answers that you want immediately. And maybe that's what's holding you back. It's like you might be waiting on a person to give you the green light, to give you the go ahead, to acknowledge your plight or your struggle or your journey, or even like to give you a peace offering or like make it right. It's like you're sitting there waiting. It's like your sword is extended. You're ready to communicate. But I don't know if this person is too intimidated to come forward or they know they've screwed up. But this is almost like cutting your losses and continuing on in your path. Because what's ahead of you is far better than I think what you're going through now. When this card first came out, we did say a card of illumination, right? Bright sunlight. Some sort of, like epiphany. You come to a realization of sorts. About a beast, about your internal struggle. Again, cards of Leo is very strong here. You might be dealing with a Leo, or again, that might be strong in your chart. Keep pushing through and going down avenues that may not be fully known to you. You have 3 pages, don't you? Yeah. Page of Cups, Page of Wands, Page of Swords. Again, so many people. You have a lot of court cards too. It's like you're surrounded by people and maybe you just don't know who to trust anymore. Maybe you've gotten burned by a few people and you're kind of like at a loss of, how do I move forward? Where do I go? I don't know who to believe. It's almost like you don't even believe your own intuition anymore. Because yes, something kind of led you down a path where you weren't valued or you weren't treated right. You were like the side piece in like, again, like a dynamic where somebody already had a house and a wife and a couple kids. Maybe that's why all those pages are showing up. And again, if it's not literally that, in metaphor, it might be like, you were one of 100 in the office and nobody recognized you. Nobody saw your value. Nobody extended that acknowledgement your way for your contributions, for your effort, your hard work. So with the Page of Wands, I just kind of see it as like, girl, bye. Like, I'm off to this. You're trying to keep me in shadow. You're trying to like, you're you're not being truthful and forward and blunt with me. You're keeping secrets. You're not being forthright with the information. It's like, I think I can do this better on my own. I'd rather take some sort of risk or go on some sort of new adventure. Because again, I think your intuition might be telling you, like, there's better times ahead. Anytime there's a horse in tarot, I'm always thinking of like knights, change, movement, progression towards joy, enlightenment, happiness, new beginnings. You have so many cards, I don't even know what to do with them, Aquarius. Wow. All right. Yeah. Again, reciprocity in reverse. Somebody wasn't being forthright or forthcoming with the information at hand. You get what you give. Somebody was, again, being like a miser, holding back, refraining, like a lower vibrational emperor, a trickster even, right? There is victory in you branching off and following your inner truth, standing in your truth, what you believe in, fighting for yourself, for your ideas, for your value. There's victory in going off alone, and you have another page of cups, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. And you have the moon card again, another card of Pisces. There's victory in you going off towards, I don't know, potentially a Pisces, a page of cups, but getting away from this kind of miser who wasn't giving you what you deserved, who was using like manipulation and trickery. Don't block your blessings. I think I said the same thing to Libra potentially, because once you bust, it's really what this is. Once you bust free from those thoughts, liberate yourself to actually see the truth that the obstacles standing in your way, it's false beliefs. They're not really there. It's imaginary things that you're giving power. Once you let yourself like pass through and like liberate yourself, you let, like metaphorically, like the guard lets you through into like this kingdom of happiness and sunlight. It's on that path that you start seeing your wish fulfillment. You start seeing things that you desire, things in your heart space that you're yearning for. That's when those blessings start coming into you. Again, another page of Pentacles. Either lots of children or, I don't know, do you have literally all the pages? You have the Page of Cups twice, you have the Page of Swords, you have the Page of Wands, and you have the Page of Pentacles. You have 4 pages. So pages can sometimes be messengers or needing more information to acquire some sort of skill or ability. They're students. Maybe some of you are teachers, or maybe some of you are going back to school to pursue some sort of degree, especially in like law or criminal justice or humanitarian type things. So yeah, like social justice. Interesting. All right. So the help available to you is the page of, or I'm sorry, not the page. I said Page of Cups because you have it twice here. The 4 of Cups. So the 4 of Cups is not realizing that the universe is trying to usher in a new beginning for you, like some sort of blessing or avenue that will be quite emotionally fulfilling. Again, it's in your heart space. It's something that would bring you joy and happiness and potentially good fortune. The underlying energy for that is the World. Something about like when you liberate yourself and bust free from these obstacles, from carrying around heavy burdens that you don't need anymore. They're heavy burdens that I think you're carrying around in your head. It's like free your mind. Isn't that an In Vogue song? Free your mind. It's that. It opens up your world. There's a greater perspective here, right? It's the way it's zoomed out, like the bird's eye view. You're in a place right now where I think you're surrounded by people telling you things or demanding things from you. Again, like the idea of like needy children, needy students. You had so many pages, all these pages. Immature people like constantly bombarding you with questions and needs and even the idea of a romantic partnership who's like your child, it's almost like they're a burden. They're constantly taking and taking, but they're not giving anything, right? It's reciprocity in reverse. They're kind of a master manipulator and trickster. You're not seeing the forest from the trees because I think it may be familiar. Maybe these people are all you've ever known, But there's a need to like move forward with a new truth, with a new clarity. Aces are the new beginnings, and they always start with us. So this is your truth. This is your idea. This is your invention. This is your innovative idea, your epiphany, your enlightenment. If you were to zoom out from your current situation or the current status quo of things, I think you would realize like, oh, there's a whole world out there for me. Like, I don't need to, what is the word? It's like you don't need to commit to this path any further. If you feel like it's your time to go explore, go explore. Again, there's other blessings and opportunities that are trying to come into you, but it's like you need to take action with the Page of Wands. You need some sort of motivation that's going to drive you forward and get you out of like this kind of crappy situation. I just feel struggle, frustration for a lot of Aquarians out there. When you decide to listen to your heart, again, cups being spirituality and our intuition, when you follow your faith, maybe follow your intuition that there's something better out there for me. You're absolutely right, Aquarius. There's a whole world out there for you. This may involve traveling. Maybe some of you need to take a vacation and just get away from these needy people or these selfish people, right? Maybe it's literally just taking a break, world travel, right? Also doing things online, opening up online businesses. I always think of like the World Wide Web when I see this card. Zoom out. There's a greater perspective to be had. There's a greater world. There's a greater population for you to be involved with, exposed to, communicating among larger groups than just what you currently are or who you're with. And the thing is, I don't think a lot of you are communicating anything right now. I think there's a lot of internal thoughts that are maybe eating away at you. And for a lot of you, this sword may represent severing something off, cutting something out that is holding you back. Devil energy, right? Maybe. Capricorn energy, but devil energy. There was something keeping you stuck here that wasn't allowing you to like progress forward. The Rider, yeah. The Knight. There's a Tower in reverse. So this is saying to me that if Aquarius, you don't come to the epiphany that this isn't serving you anymore, that this is no longer your story, that you've resigned yourself to sort of this outcome of like being the other woman or underappreciated or whatever that is, of being like the sexual side piece, but not the main focus, not the center of attention. And I use that term loosely, center of attention, like it's your world, right? It's your story. So why are you like a side character in this person's story? It's sort of that energy. If you don't come to that epiphany yourself, it's almost like the Tower is going to come through to break you free from what is holding you back. Because you've been in this position for a while with an 8 and a 9. Like liberation is past its due date. Like it's time to break free and move towards what your heart and your intuition are telling you. There's something greater that I think you're looking to achieve, but it does involve movement forward. And again, for some of you, physical movement, physical travel, a new location, a new job, a new partnership. The Tower will come to rescue you if you can't do it for yourself, but you have some pretty badass cards. So I think for a lot of you Aquarians, maybe this video right here is just going to validate what you already know. And you're like, oh, okay, I understand. Like now is my time. Now is my time to speak my truth, to sever ways, to fight for justice, to communicate what I've been holding in or what I've been holding back on. It's time to move forward to whatever is your wish fulfillment ultimately, right? And it's going to be a little bit different for everyone, but all right. Wow, this is a lot. What is your advice or guidance, Aquarius? Time to close out the cycle. Yeah. So as I was saying, something that you haven't been communicating, this is a card of anxiety and then a mental death, right? Closing or cutting your losses, realizing that there isn't really a great scenario in which this plays out in a way that is enlightening or that is enjoyable. This is something that like it was an unfortunate circumstance or situation that you kind of had to ride through essentially. But what you can take away from this is there were really valuable lessons that you learned. And ultimately it's teaching you that, and I'm not calling it mistakes, but whatever shortcomings you felt like you had in this situation, maybe it's the realization, wow, I should have stuck up for myself. I should have said something. This is realizing that was a missed opportunity, but I'm going to do it differently the next time. You can close out this cycle and move on, because ultimately it's not worth carrying around that mental baggage in your head. That metaphor of like living or letting that person you strongly dislike or have like some sort of grudge or jealousy with, letting them live inside your head rent free. That's sort of like cheesy saying. That's what this is. It's like, just let it go. Release it. And I say just, right? I mean, I know it's difficult. I'm not trying to minimize like the pain and sacrifices you've had to make. But this is saying you're closing out a cycle. And what a perfect time to do it in Scorpio season, right? The recognition of the baggage we no longer need to carry with us. It's weighing you down so that you can't move forward. Where's your other... You had another Knight card, right? What did I do with it? You're trying to move forward, right? On horses, change, movement, freedom, liberation, right? If you're constantly carrying around, look at this. This is a mental battle. This is a struggle in the mind. If you're carrying around all these thoughts, it's like it's holding you back, literally. It's weighing you down. It's making you depressed. You're not wanting to get out of bed in the morning. It's to the point where it's like debilitating, where you can't even get on with your life. It's time to understand what this is and close it out with a new idea or an epiphany that's like, oh, I'm going to go after this because my heart is telling me to, because this is what I love. This is what I want to do. This is somebody else I want to be with. This is more in alignment with what I want to put on this earth, right? The legacy I want to leave, what I want to contribute to the world while I'm still here and capable of doing pretty amazing things, pretty epic things, right? Against social justice for some of you. Fighting for what it is that you want. You might be bringing the tower down on somebody else and deciding like, thanks, but no thanks. Like, I don't need you anymore. It's like, even the idea of like, you kept me locked away in this tower when, again, like I should have been in the house. I should have been in like the main room with the main family, with the executives, with where I was supposed to be, like part of the inner circle. But like Rapunzel, it's like, you kept me up in this tower. You were like the evil witch. You were like the evil queen. It's like, I'm busting free. I'm liberating myself. Completions of cycles, right? You have several 9s. You have 3 pages, or I'm sorry, you have 4 pages. You have 3 9s. Completions of major cycles. Putting these mental struggles to rest, putting these terribly heavy burdens down, potentially physical burdens, or even emotional ones, right? To go after what is emotionally fulfilling to you. After the 9 comes the 10. The fairy tale ending, what feels the best. It's time to start pursuing that and putting more time and effort and energy into achieving that. Again, with the Knights, forward movement. You have a lot of queens too. You have the Queen of Wands, you have the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Swords. There are so many people in this spread, Aquarius. Like, I don't really know how to make heads or tails of it. This is by far the most complicated reading I've had. So then let's see, the underlying energy for, what was it? All our 10s is the Page of Wands again. Again, move towards what excites you, something that you find inspirational, something that motivates you, something that lights a fire in you. It gets you stoked, right? Literally. Again, lots of fire energy in this, maybe with a Leo. Going on to pursue new things, maybe a career in the arts, or going back to school to study some sort of skill or hobby or talent that is involved in, like, again, music, painting, writing, sewing, clay, videography, whatever that is for you. There's some creative dynamic here. And yeah, for a lot of you, it's kind of like going back to the basics. Going back to what your initial passion or drive was, that maybe you put on the back burner to be among these people or this person, but it kind of disappointed you, didn't it? It spilled cups. And to say it kind of disappointed you, that's an understatement, isn't it? Something really disappointed you. Something felt like a death. A death of sorts. It's time to release this. In Scorpio season, they are the death card, right? Release. Can we get rid of this now? How can you help yourself, Aquarius, to heal from this and move on? It's time to go towards happier things. Enlightenment of your wish fulfillment. To go after the world. What are the dreams that you're chasing? It's time to start focusing more energy on this and to make room for blessings by releasing all of this, all right? Let's see what we can do to get rid of this month. That should be your main focus, all right? Aquarius, this was a bit of a grim reading, I'm not going to lie to you, but sending you all the best. I'm rooting for all the Aquarians out there. Let me know in the comments below what resonates for you. Please do like, share, subscribe, and I will see you Aquarians very soon for more tarot readings. Bye, guys.